Hey YouTube, Derek here. Basically I decided to start documenting, or I guess filming, or whatever you want to call it, my game engine I'm working on. Yeah, look at all that pretty source code. No, it's mostly commented out, mostly gay crap. So, I'm not entirely sure how I'm going to go about doing this, but I figure I'll just start some, dorm room, big fridge, yeah, that's the works. I guess what I hope to do is just show off different parts of the game engine, and hold on a second. Yeah, just show off different parts of the game engine, and I guess start like giving y'all some kind of tutorial. I mean, I've been meaning to do this for a while. It'd be kind of cool to do, just see how it goes. Give me a piece. Yeah, so originally the idea was I was going to use a camera screen capturing system. Didn't work. Hey, it's Remington!
Did you earn the board already?
Yeah, I wrote Remington lives here on the board.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah. Yeah, so originally I was supposed to use some kind of screen capturing device. I don't have a microphone on the camera, or on the computer, so I have to use the camera. What's up, Remington?
Nothing.
YouTube.
Just got done my morning exercise. My big guns were out.
So, yeah, you see this big ogre guy, 3D model. You see this Triforce gay triangle. See these little green spheres. There's one there. There's one there. There should be a little alien dude in here. Yeah, there he is. Yeah. Yep. See, everything's got little animations. You can specify animations in the code. And you got this big terrain. There we go. And the sky. Yeah, that was a bitch. Oh, shoot. No profanity. Yeah, just forget I said that. And let's see. I don't know how well this is turning out, so just let me know, or I guess I'll see. Oh, and I got lighting effects. Wait a minute, you can't even see the sky anymore. Oh, the sky's gone. Wait a minute. What just happened? I don't know what just happened. Oh, the sky is there. It's just really dark. Oh, there's the light. Yeah. This little green thing represents the light. Right now you can change different light colors. Ambient color, diffuse color, specular color. All done throughout the engine. Here, monitors, frame rate. Getting pretty steady, 59. I don't think it's entirely accurate though, because it likes to jump around for no reason. And yeah, that's about it. Maybe I can make the terrain look cool with the lighting. There we go. Put some shadows in there. Yeah. This terrain is actually being stored on the graphics hardware, so that way it renders faster. Because otherwise I'll bog down the pipeline, which will cause for a very, very low frame rate. Let's see if I zoom in. Zooming in. Yeah, you can't really see that yet. Here you can see everything in wireframe. That's a lot of triangles. It's over like, you see, it's whatever 512 squared is. That's a lot. Let's see what else we got. Yeah, they are. You can see him in wireframe too. Nothing special, just the same old. And yeah, he moves around. Wait a minute. Oh yeah, I fucked that up. He should be moving faster, but I had to move really slow, because right now I'm working on collision detection. You know, trying to get him to work with. Like right now, sphere on sphere collision works, box on box collision works, and a point on that little triangle works, because that's a plane, or an infinite plane that's being tested with raycasts and stuff. Very linear algebra oriented, so I don't recommend it for the faint of heart. I'm still trying to get it to work. So, yeah, that's about it for now, I guess. I might put a tutorial up on this episode, I'm not sure. But, say bye, Remington.
Bye, Remington.
So, quite a number of you have been asking me, don't look at me that way.
What?
Nothing. a few of you have been asking me how to start working on a game or a game engine, and there's quite a number of ways to go about doing this. Well, there's the easy way, and then there's the really hard way. Now, the really easy way is you go out and you go find a game-oriented language. Like there's Dart Basic, there's Blitz, there's a few others, I don't remember their names. I'm just winging this at the moment, but you can go out there and you can buy these languages or buy the program that uses these languages, and you can essentially just sit down and like in a few hours you can have 3D oriented first-person shooters, RPGs. It's really straightforward. Everything's been handled for you. All you just got to do is just make the game. Now, for some of you, that probably is very appealing. I mean, you wouldn't want to just sit down. If the idea is to make a video game, then this is the language for you. Like, if you just want to sit down and start working on it. Now, usually you don't have to know a lot of computer science or programming to work with those. I mean, of course, it's still programming oriented, but it's not nearly as bad. And then there's like the mid-range kind of, where you can work with Java or C#, or in particular C#, with Microsoft just came out with, not really just came out, but they work with XNA, which is a DirectX wrapper. So it basically handles all the model loading, file loading, and handling of like storing that in memory for you. And then also the nice thing about C# and Java is, you know, you don't have to worry about memory, and it's very clean looking. Like the syntax is very easy to pick up on. And then there's a really hard way. Now, I only recommend this for your hardcore, no-life programmers like myself. So
I wasn't thinking that.
So basically, this is where you really have to sit down and think about it for a long while. Like, do I really want to go down this path? Because if you do, you're going to be working for long periods of time with very little progress, just because you're writing so much. Now, you can write this in C or C++. I recommend C++ just because it's object-oriented, where C isn't. And then, you learn your language, and you make sure you're very, very good at your language. Like, you know, in the ins and outs, pointers, references, functions, memory loading, and you know how to clean up your mess. I mean, obviously there's more to it than that, but make sure you at least know that. And then on top of that, you need to pick out your graphics API. And then there's Allegro, OpenGL, DirectX, SDL, Direct3D. There's probably a couple more, I just don't know them. Basically, you pick your graphics API, which is like which is like the set of functions and commands that interact with the graphics hardware for you. And you want to make sure you learn your API in and out. I mean, they have all kinds of textbooks and I guess reference books for them. Here, I got like a whole bunch. Hold on. Yep. See, well, this is only a few ones I got. You know, I got this one, I got this one, I got this one, and this taught me about 20% of the API. So, I mean, there's because I'm using OpenGL, just because it's cross-platform, very elegant. I tried learning DirectX, very ugly. I'm not hating on DirectX, it's just very syntax heavy. It's not very, it just doesn't look very clean and pretty. But basically you learn your API and your language, and then on top of that you have to learn like what data, like the data structures, like so you have a .3ds model or .md2 model, like I'm using md2 models for whatever reason. You have to learn how that data structure is set up and then learn how to read it in, and then on top of that you also have to create the data structures that will hold the memory or the data for your image files, your music files, your model files, any type of files you want. You have to learn how to read them and then store them in the computer. And then on top of that, you have to get that to interact with your graphics API. So it takes a lot of work. Like, I've been working on this project, well, this particular project for a few months, but overall, like, I've been writing game engine stuff for a few years now, since about 8th grade. So it's a long, slow process. You just gotta learn how to do everything first. You can't just sit down and they'll just be like, hey, I want to make a video game. Like, it's not that simple if you're taking the hard path. If you're doing the easy stuff, or you're choosing a game-oriented language, then sure, yeah, you can just sit down and start programming. I mean, the way I started was I literally started with Dark Basic, and I eventually just maxed out the language. Like, I did everything you could possibly do with that language, and then I got curious about how stuff started working. So, and it just didn't provide me with everything I needed. So I moved on to C# and XNA for a brief period, because it was like, oh, the Xbox, and you can port it to the Xbox. That never worked out. So from there I just moved on to C# or C++, and I tried to learn OpenGL and DirectX at the same time. I don't recommend it. So just pick one of the APIs and just go with it. So hopefully this gives you a little bit of insight into making games. So it just really depends on what type of person you are. If you have no girlfriend, no life, and your classes aren't that hard, I recommend, and you're just really curious about how the whole game engine process works, I definitely recommend going down the hard path. But again, that's only for your super hardcore people, okay? It's not for the faint of heart. If you just want to sit down, make games, and just that's all you care about, then go with like Dark Basic or Blitz 3D. And then if you're somewhere in the middle, like you really don't want to have to mess with loading files, but you still want to have a little bit more power than just the game-oriented languages, then definitely go with like C# or Java with XNA or OpenGL. So hopefully that helps you out. Late.